The equine industry is a little different than the other livestock industries we have in the country. As we look at the production of horses, the utilization of horses, and youth activities and structured events, there's quite a bit of difference. We can look at differences in exhibiting a trained horse and actually going into training facilities, broodmare operations, breeding farms. Each one of them has their own specific safety issues associated with it. But they all come down to understanding the basic behavior in a horse. Horses are social animals. They're very gregarious, but they also are fairly temperamental. And so when we take them from a riding and exhibition situation into production, they behave a little bit differently. Broodmares, they are social animals. They have their little groups, but they also can be very aggressive, particularly at feeding time. They'll fight for position. Once they start having foals, they become very protective. So even though the mare may be extremely gentle in the season when she's not raising a colt, when she actually goes into production, her attitude changes, and we have to be aware of that and learn how to deal with it. Stallions present a particular problem. They are very aggressive by nature, and they are not worked with quite as much as a lot of other horses. So stallions on breeding operations, inexperienced people should not be around. You should never be in that facility with a stallion until you're trained enough to handle an aggressive stallion. The other area where we have some real safety concerns is in the weaning process on foals. There's nothing more excitable than a weaned foal. So if one of them starts running, the whole group will start running. Anybody that's in the pen or pasture could easily be run over. They startle easily. So in a production setting, you want to make sure that you really pay attention to the response you're going to get and anticipate what kind of adverse response you might have out of a set of horses. The other side of that is trying to work with horses in a training facility. Young people that have been exhibiting horses in particular have only been around horses that are as safe as we can possibly get them. As we get into training facilities, these horses are not those highly trained, highly predictable kind of horses. Very variable in their response to stimulus, whether it be visual or hearing, and so once again, they spook very easily. So in a training facility, the risk around horses is greatly increased. People need to have a lot of supervision when they make that transition from exhibition into the training phase of this industry.